Right here in your ear holes, invading your
you.
personal space.
Yeah.
Which hole on your body is the worst to have probed?
What do you even want me to say to that? I don't understand how you want me to respond.
Well, you got a proper abundance of holes on your body, right? You got like ear holes, nostrils, technically like your tear ducts. But like, which one is the one you would least want probed? Or which one, better question, which one do you want probed? In a situation where, like, let's say you're abducted, right? You're in a flying saucer. They're like, okay, boy, saddle up.
I do not submit.
You refuse? Oh my God, he's fighting. They've never had anybody fight back before.
Well, I'm resist the grays to the end.
You know what?
No compliance.
That's the American
Absolutely
way, baby.
Not, yeah.
No grays taking
Surprise,
us down.
I've hidden 3 shotguns on my body that you could not detect with your billion-year advanced technology.
Where I am, we have open carry, so every business has to have a no open carry sign on their door so that people don't open carry their guns inside of the establishment.
But they forgot to say no grays, so the grays can walk in with open carry weapons because it doesn't technically apply to them.
Look, I live in a capital city. Everybody here is a gray. The fucking bureaucracy's all grays at this point. Fucking do your reading. Come on.
I'm sorry. I haven't been keeping up on the literature.
You've been watching Saturday Night Liberals and, just brush it up on your shill news. Speaking of Saturday Night Liberals, I watched the entire episode of Saturday Night Live.
Whoa, you're not supposed to watch the whole thing. Didn't you know that? Oh, no.
Dude, wow. Here I was, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why Travis Scott's no longer on the television? What's happening?
You fucked up. Who
are these people?
It's like antibiotics. You're not supposed to take all of them.
Yeah, well, they gave me a pill full of musical guests and bits, and I took the bits with the guests, and goddamn.
No.
It's rough out here.
It's like vinegar and baking soda. It's just... Yeah, it all comes right back out.
Or what's the one that makes mustard gas if you put it in your fucking bathtub?
Bleach and cleaners, ammonia. Yeah, don't do that.
Bleach and ammonia. Yeah.
Bad idea.
Wow. It is rough out there, man. There's no joke here. It's
not good.
Very, very unfunny.
Well, I'm
there. So I'm not surprised. I'm sure you're not surprised.
Check in. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to.
Well, literally, the last time I would have watched any Saturday Night Live was like the 2008 election, and then before that, I was not watching Saturday Night Live. So I've seen like classic 80s bits and stuff, and even stuff that people liked in the 90s. I don't think is very good.
No.
I guess like Chris Farley stuff was hit or miss, but then you got like David Spade and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
No.
But now it's pretty goddamn horrendous. There was a bit that I can't even just, you're going to think I'm lying. You're going to think I'm lying when I tell you what this bit was. So the bit was, fucking hell. It's a dance battle, right? We're in the city and they're all dressed up like inner city youth. They've got hoodies and stuff and they throw down a boombox and do a dance battle. And one team's like kind of legit, they got like moves.
First of all, this
and
is
then
already, I think you're already describing a Key and Peele bit, I think. So right. Well,
in the Key and Peele bit, it was funny because they just didn't worry about the battle at all. But in this instance, the one team is good and the other team just does Fortnite dances to game show theme songs. That's the bit. That's the entire bit.
What?
And then they have band. So like they like all 4 of them would get, they would put down their music and it would be like the Price is Right theme, and then they would do a dance from Fortnite. I couldn't believe it. I literally was in awe of what I was watching. I'm like, this is where we are as a society, as to where Fortnite is now officially mainstream.
Did their audience did they explain out loud that it was from Fortnite?
Nope.
You just knew that because
Well, they like flossed and then they did I don't know what other they looked like Fortnite dances, and I think I've seen people do the dances in reference to Fortnite. I watch sports, so there's like crossover there. Everybody in sports right now. Everybody in sports is playing Fortnite right now, so you get a lot of that.
What a weird Venn diagram.
But it was very rough.
That doesn't sound very funny. Yeah, no.
There was one bit that was funny that nobody in the room laughed to except for me because I thought it was funny, which was I don't know why I'm just describing SNL bits at this point, but this is
great second episode material.
This doesn't resonate with the audience at all, but I thought it was funny, which was this.
I think our audience will appreciate a check-in with the
yeah,
horrible
it's foreign to them.
Worlds.
Yeah, they've seen more of Mars in the past 5 years than SNL. So like the bit is that there's like an orchard, like they're like autumn fairs up north where they'll have like pumpkin patches and shit and like mazes or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so it's a manager of one of those has to fire his employees because they've been caught fucking pumpkins. And like they're just like we're finding series of pumpkins that had holes drilled in them or were quote unquote outright destroyed, which I thought was pretty good. And rather than trying to lie, they just explain why they decided to have sex with the pumpkins, which is that they thought it would feel really good and it did. So nobody else thought that bit was funny, but I thought it was fucking hilarious just because of the absurdity of it and the fact that coming off of like 20 unfunny bits, it was the strangest thing that they had put on for sure.
All right.
So SNL checkup, prospects not good. Season 46 not shaping up to be a good
3 hours of sitting.
But man, those motherfuckers are long. Holy fuck, that bitch is like a solid 45 minutes. Like, how the fuck am I going to watch that? And the Travis Scott bit was terrible. Actually, no, Travis Scott was funny in the one bit that he was in, but his performance was terrible.
I don't think of Travis Scott as much of a
he showed up at the tail end of one bit, and he had good comedic timing.
Huh.
But man, wow, that was tough to get through.
That doesn't. Yeah, no.
So
stamp.
I know you were thinking of doing
from
it.
us.
Yeah.
Officially.
That's the first stamp we've issued so far. I think
that's number one. You're on watch.
That's what I got.
Yeah, not much is going on. What's going on with me is it's big boy season. It's time.
I was gonna say big boy season.
I'm eating big. I'm getting big. You eating big boy season?
I'm bulking.
It's bulking time.
I got my turkey, my ground turkey.
Ground turkey.
And my brown rice.
Ground turkey is not a bulking. What are you talking about? It's the opposite of.
I'm eating a lot of ground turkey.
It's very low fat. You have to eat so much ground turkey.
Boy, how much ground turkey you think a man can eat? Because I'm eating it.
Oh, God.
What are you bulking on, my man? How are your farts?
They're loud and proud, brother.
All right.
Just eating a lot of rice and barbecue sauce. A lot of chicken thighs. You can move from breast to thighs in the winter. It's great.
That's warmer there anyway. I prefer to let my hands, caress the thigh more so than the breast because, the thigh, it's kind of like they can kind of close their legs and then you get like a pocket there. So that's where a lot of the warmth is contained. A lot of people don't know that. The breast, it's kind of like the top of your head. It just emanates heat and doesn't really retain any. Just
imagining you like in the winter huddling with a bunch of chickens on you for warmth, like kind of just hugging all of them. Surrounded by them. If you don't mind getting shat all over, chickens are a decent way to maintain heat during the winter. Sit in one of those coops. Come on. You think when they lay the eggs, they must be warm when they lay them. I always think of eggs as being cold, but it's just
imagine the smell
every morning. Just a big, nice, warm egg sitting out. Just crack it straight in your mouth.
No, just eat it raw. Just eat it shell and all.
Oh yeah.
It's a delicious ooey gooey surprise.
You just like you're apprenticing with a farmer, and he's just out. The sun's rising, just they smell that cold, crisp air, boy. And he reaches down, he cracks a fresh egg right into his fucking mouth.
Oh, fuck! That one was fertilized. Oh god,
crunchy, protein.
Hell,
fantastic. It's
also I have goats in my neighborhood, as people saw on Twitter, and by people I mean nobody saw on Twitter.
I
have goats,
but you'd explained you got some goats.
There are goats in my neighborhood, and for the most part, they're not really a nuisance. They're kind of a more like they're a fun novelty. Like people will come over and like, hey, check this out, goats, and they're like, what? Wiggity, what? You're here in the middle of this urban environment, and somebody has decided to cultivate a family of goats.
Crazy.
And now my neighborhood smells like the manure.
Oh, they're new goats?
They've been around, but I think it's been raining so much that like it's bringing up from the ground, by a petrichor or whatever the fucking bringing up that stank.
Yeah.
I purchased some incense to fight this because I figured it was the most appropriate hipster thing to do to fight goat manure with incense.
Yeah, that's really your real David and Goliath. Just buying a tiny little bit of incense for a whole. If you're sticking up a whole neighborhood, that's got to be a whole lot of material. That's.
Have you never seen like the super sticks of incense? Because those things are huge.
Okay.
They're about as thick as your thumb. They're huge.
You just got a whole. You just like stack a bunch of incense on your front lawn and set it on fire, and everyone thinks you're burning a cross. But it smells delicious.
Yeah. Well, actually, I get huge bricks of sage, and I lay them throughout the street. And on the plus side, there's no more monsters or demons in my neighborhood. But that was a waste of money. Anyways, big boy season. So you're bulking.
Yeah, no, that was it. I didn't really have anything. I just get to eat a lot, and it's really fun. I like it.
That's good.
Yep.
I guess I've technically been bulking for the past 23 years.
That's the spirit.
My cut is going to come any day now. But I learned recently you're not supposed to have 4 dinners. You're usually supposed to just have one and that's it. But I've been doing this thing.
You're close enough to the border where you can legally have the dose meal, as they call it.
Oh yes, the dose meal.
Doso cruncho.
And that goes well with second breakfast. And I also have a tea.
Pour yourself a big cup of Chad Ocho Cinco.
There was a day recently where I went. Oh goodness. Okay, so I went out to go see a friend, and on my way to their place, I ate a burger. I stopped and got a burger.
Just burger, no fries or anything.
But come on, that's implied. Fries are implied. I got a burger, a fountain drink, and fries. Oh my gosh! Because that's what getting a burger means. Come on. And then so I went over to their place. We hung out for a while, and then they're like, "Hey, do you feel like getting a burger?" I'm like, "Well, damn, sure, let's go." So then we went and I got another burger, fries, and fountain drink. So
all turkey burgers, though, right?
If Whataburger recently swapped out their beef for turkey, then yes.
You should ask them.
Also, these were not single stack; these were double stack.
Oh wow,
burgers.
that's 4 patties.
4 patties and 4 slices of cheese. Thank you.
That is professional, big boy. I'm impressed. Good on you.
You merely adopted the big boy. I was born to it.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. Well, good luck with your bulk. When are you gonna wake from your hibernation and start cutting, being a lean muscle stud?
I mean, the winters are quite long up here, if you remember.
So I think sometime around late May, you might be able to peek out of your hole of snow.
I was literally thinking until April. I figure I can gain solid 25.
Holy shit! I mean, I guess if are you how many are you trying to gain a week? 2 pounds?
No,
pound and a half?
1.
1 pound. Okay, I guess it is half a year, huh?
Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah. I think winter will be starting for us sometime after the new year. And then
61 degrees. Brr.
Somebody get my gloves.
Yeah.
Get the snowshoes. Well, that's cool. Speaking of bulking.
Oh yes.
We've been filling ourselves full of other shit this week.
That's true. Heroin.
Empty calories.
The emptiest. Yeah. So empty that you resigned.
I gave up.
Yes.
I give up.
And I believe we made a bet years ago that the first one to give up, to be defeated by the seasonal previews, is a huge poopy fag. So
you know
I
what?
Guess, you know what?
I'm definitely one of those things. I'll let you determine which one.
You're huge. You're bulking.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
So, yes, I quit.
What are you? What are you?
I'm a big poopy boy.
No, that's not.
I'm not
what
saying it. I'm not going to say it.
We made a pact. We pricked our fingers and we were blood brothers.
I don't remember that. Is that what happened that
night? That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
I believe it was mostly blackness to me.
We conducted a blood sacrifice.
It took one episode.
Alchemic.
One episode.
Was it just the first one?
No, it was one episode of us recording where I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe not this time. Because this podcast that we didn't do before, we didn't watch all of the episodes for the past 3 years, or the first episode of every show that's aired for the past 3 years, and I totally didn't hate it then. So, I figured the first episode of us trying to watch everything is a good time for me to quit.
That's a great idea. We just need to get David in on these. Then we can reduce your loads by like a third. That'd be better.
I mean, when you get David in the picture, my loads only increase in size.
Okay,
so
we'll work around that. But yes, it's fall 2018, and maybe we're not going to watch all of them this time, but we at least started with watching all of them.
We watched 4 arbitrary ones, basically.
No, the first 4 that aired. I have them in order.
Yes, but arbitrary in terms of quality. So
we're
gonna
sure. Yeah, no.
watch a smattering of other ones.
In fact, usually the ones that air very first, not the best ones.
No.
It's usually right in the middle where you get to the good stuff. But yes, we did watch only 4, huh? Oh no.
No, I got 6. I got 6.
Damn.
I just didn't update it. Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Cool.
4 was when I decided I wasn't going to do it, but I wasn't going to quit on the. I had to finish the 6.
Okay. So that means we're starting out with Akanesasu Shoujo.
Yes.
First anime of the season. This is a multimedia franchise celebrating the 20th anniversary of Animax, the channel, the satellite.
Congratulations.
Channel. Congrats, Animax. And this is an anime. It's a free-to-play MOBA game. I'm hoping it's a gacha game. I need more. Give me. I don't even want to play them. I just need to download more of them. And this is by Dandelion Animation, which is normally a CG studio, which I was expecting CG, and then it wasn't, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was not. I was surprised at first, and then I was not later. But,
all right.
Yeah.
I got it.
You can summarize as you please.
All right. So, this show, it opens up. There are some girls. They're setting up some chaos magic, man. They're making it happen.
Some cyber witch shit.
Yeah,
with rave elements.
Yeah, they're near a shrine, and they're making up some prayers and using D10s to try to divine something. We got our main character. She's a bit of an airhead. She lets her imagination run wild, and she's like, "What? We could totally break on through and become one with the information stream, or whatever."
Her name's Asuka.
Yep. And then so they're like, "This is bullshit. Our incantations are never going to work because we're making them up." And everybody heads home. And one of the girls finds this like magical gold cube or mysterious gold cube thing and picks it up, because I would pick it up. It's pretty fucking cool.
It looks
looking.
very nice. Yeah.
That's the thing I would definitely steal from a shrine. So they head to school the next day and hang out in the broadcasting club room, because apparently they're part of like the radio club. And they lament the fact that they put on the same CD every day, which Viva la Revolution. They hijack the radio and put on a dance record, and they start screaming like, "Come on, everybody, let's go dance!"
Oh, that's okay. They do a Shawshank here in my notes, and I wasn't sure what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they get into trouble from that. Have to go to the teacher's office or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, you girls are in big old trouble for putting on some other music, even though you're the broadcast club. What else are they supposed to do?" But the main character bribes the teacher with soft-boiled eggs soaked in miso, because their family owns a miso shop, which is brought up more than it probably needs to be. Like it's brought up like 4 or 5 times in this episode, and I guess maybe it'll feature to the narrative somehow, but. Really fixated on the miso shop.
It's probably good miso.
So, I noticed a trend at this point, because I think we go to do we end up in a restaurant or something at this point?
Yeah, they go eat.
They go eat, and every one of the characters is in every scene, which I think is kind of strange. Like they're always moving as a pack.
A group, yeah. They're friends.
But like, there's like 6 of them shits. Like, they don't have any sort of like schedule overlap at all. You know, I don't know. Also, they're not very cute. I think this is a pretty ugly looking show, if I'm going to be real. Like, it's like the animation, or not the animation, like, there's nothing inherently immediately wrong about the designs. It's just all very plain. Like, none of them have super defining characteristics, and the palette is pretty muted, so nobody really pops at all. Like, their hair colors are all kind of like brown, like darkish colors and muted. I did not like the aesthetic of the show very much. But anyways, so there's one of the girls in particular is quiet and seems to be the most technically adept, and she she has a quote-unquote crystal radio, which I don't know what that is. It might be a thing. But she puts the crazy crystal thing, or gold cube thing, into her crystal radio, and apparently she's able to find some sort of like faint signal on some kind of crazy frequency. So they go and do their ritual again using this signal as the catalyst or whatever, and then they get transported into another world.
A big lava place.
Yeah, it's like black and gold everything. So, but they handle it pretty well. I'd be losing my shit personally.
One of them kind of loses it.
She does, but it's like a gag. Like, it's not something that's going to be sustained. Like, you can tell it's specifically for a goof.
The tone at that point becomes very, very strange, because it's like it's seems like it's supposed to be comedic, but like there's all these little creatures around,
right?
And they're all like attacking them, and they get surrounded, but there's no music happening, and they're like trying to dig these creatures off their friends.
Well, they look like mascot characters.
Yeah,
or something.
But like I couldn't tell what the tone was supposed to be.
At that point, it's kind of like they start getting attacked, and then it's like, oh wow, we're in danger now in this mysterious world.
Yeah.
Thankfully, a mysterious girl arrives. She's got a sword, and she looks a whole lot like our main character. Whole lot like her. And she uses a Walkman to transform into like some sort of fighting mode, which I kind of like, because I like unconventional objects used for transformations.
Very specific
that's like
thing.
I know. I didn't realize I liked it until then. I'm like, oh wow, that's neat. But awful is my next note. It's just awful.
So the guitar riffs.
There's like a power ballad that comes in, and she starts fighting these cute rabbit things, which transform into a dragon. And it seems like all hope is lost at one point, because she gets piled on, and there's like a puff of smoke, and nobody can see what's going on. But then she uses a big old laser gun to kill all the dragons, and this is like out of completely fucking nowhere, which I guess that's the point. But
and the fights are CG, by the way. That's why I said that earlier.
Yes. So anyways, she does like the Shaft look at him, and she's like, well, you guys need to leave this place and never come back. At this point, I checked how long was left in this episode, and I'm like, how the fuck does this motherfucker go on for another 8 minutes? What is going on? So they bring the otherworld version of her back into their world, and or she comes with them, and then they go to her place to eat dinner. So the two Asukas are currently like staying in the same room, and then they have dinner, and apparently Asuka has a dead brother or something. I'm assuming dead or disappeared. Yes. Probably disappeared. And then they take a bath together, and then the protagonist finally puts it together that they're the same person, just from different timelines or different universes. I did not like this one.
No, it's not great. There's halfway through, the episode, there's this really, really overindulgent CG battle.
Yes.
It's that first episode problem is having a big fight in the first episode is always a bad idea, because you don't know anyone.
And even it's not even like our characters are in it. Like, we haven't even met this girl, and then she's like doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm not invested.
And at that point, I had just in my notes been complimenting the show for having this very slow, restrained build-up, kind of, because the whole first half of the episode is they try this weird ceremony. It doesn't do anything.
I think that shit's nonsensical.
And then, it doesn't make any sense. But they're just there in school. They're walking around. Something's probably going to happen, but it's it's not like they're they could have gone in that first scene. They could have gone to the other world. That's how a lot of other shows would start. So I was like, hey, not a lot of other shows have this amount of self-control, and then it's just fucking for 4 minutes she's fighting a dragon in this horrible, you have a chance to create another universe, and it's just flat red lava world with nothing in it. Bad design. It reminds me of like Dark Void. That was like,
wow.
For some reason that was what came into my head because I remember.
Yeah, I think Capcom would prefer if you didn't remember Dark Void.
Because I remember someone, I mean probably most people saying like, you cross from Earth into a different universe, and what's in this different universe where anything you could design it anywhere you want. There's rocks. There's water.
Yeah,
there's dirt.
It's like Inception, where you enter a dream world, and the dream world's just our world, but things curve a little bit. it's the dream world is just places that we've already been in the film, but then it gets turned into a fucking
now there's water.
calzone. It gets calzoned. Like the world folds in on itself. That's not. Great work, Nolan. Really inspired shit. The last act of fucking Inception takes place in a goddamn James Bond reject location. Like they were looking for this location for Skyfall, and they're like, no, we're not going to use.
I mean, if you wanted to make it actually like a dream, it would be too silly to take seriously. Because I would just be like pumping gas while fucking my 8th grade English teacher, and it would like
bro, lean into that shit.
No,
that'd be awesome. That movie would be fucking lit.
That's like a David Lynch. You can't you can't make a thriller
mommy
film.
Well, that's that show.
Yeah, no, that's not a very good show, and the opening stinks.
Yes.
Okay, next up is Tensei Shitara Slime Datta, or That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
AKA That Time I Got Slimed.
Exactly. This is a light
I have this one as well.
novel. No, you just did one.
I want this one.
You took forever on the last one. It's my turn.
I'll expedite it.
Okay. I mean, this should not. You should. If you're explaining every scene, this should not take more than 30 to maybe 50 seconds of summary, because so little happens.
My notes really start to break down in the second half of this. So, like, this is the last show I can talk intelligently about.
Okay. But I'll just say it's a light novel adaptation being adapted by 8-Bit, known for Comet Lucifer and Yamano Susume and Infinite Stratus. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Start the timer.
I'm not gonna. Do you want me to time you? I could.
It'd be kind of fun.
All right, here. Let me. And go.
Okay, there's this dude. He's 37. He's a virgin. He don't got no girlfriend. He goes to meet up with a coworker, and while he's meeting up with his coworker, he gets deaded by a knife, and then he wakes up in another world, and in the other world, he realizes that he is a slime. And then he meets a dragon, and then he becomes slime buddies with this dragon. And he's got slime powers, and it's an isekai, but he's a slime, and that is the gimmick.
Damn. All right, that was real quick. That was like 26.
What was it, 27?
Yeah.
Fuck. This show, it is a gimmick isekai.
It's one of those shows where not only is it an isekai, but it's specifically it's gamified entertainment where you are basically the same dopamine you get from leveling up in a video game. It's just being shown to you instead of you don't actually have to play the game, really.
This is the entertainment that is consumed in the Wall-E spaceship, where the people are really fat and they don't do nothing. This is what they're watching on the tube, is just basically a condensed gacha game. Or not a gacha game, but you know what I mean. Like
an RPG.
Yeah, just like an RPG, but they don't have to play it. I guess it's not that dissimilar from watching somebody play an RPG on Twitch, but without the entertainment factor of like a character, playing the game.
Well, I mean, there is a character.
Yeah, but he's not funny.
He's cute. He's a little slime.
Yeah, so this show does have a cool aesthetic.
It keeps cutting to like this OS because he has like a UI, even though he's not really playing a game. He's hearing this voice and there's all these stats and everything, and every time it cuts to this interface is this really crazy really cool CG effects and sound effects.
It's a waste, but it's very inspired. I think that's some very cool looking imagery there, which I would love to steal and put into something good. But I really liked that aspect. And also when he's he's kind of drifting through nothingness at one point, like while he's dying.
Yeah.
And that sequence looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, a lot of this looks... it's more fun than it should be because, like, I kind of had fun just watching this guy be a slime. You know, he goes water skiing. He eats a bunch of stuff. He flies around. He's having a good time. It wasn't, I didn't dislike it. He meets a dragon. He makes friends with a dragon.
I just dislike it out of principle mostly.
Well, sure.
The gimmick isn't. I don't know if this gimmick can't have legs. It just can't.
I think he's going to turn into a girl. He's not going to be a slime for very long.
I don't think it's going to keep with that gimmick, really. I liked the dragon, in that he was really proud, but at the same time wasn't above having him as a friend because he hasn't known anybody for 300 years.
Tsundere dragon.
Yeah, it's not the most egregious isekai I've ever seen, but I was just really kind of sad that some nice imagery got wasted on this. It got wasted on an isekai. I'm
going to watch a bit more of that and see where it goes.
Let me know, man. Why
would I let you know? Really, you're not going to watch any more of it.
Really, really wish. Well, because you could at least explain to me interesting things that happened in it. Yeah. But also, I really wish we had left the fucking cave. Because we get into this other world and we spend the entire episode inside of a cave. Yeah. And we're learning like systems and shit that don't matter.
Cliffhanger. You gotta be suspenseful. My favorite character, by the way, is Knife Man. Knife Man is fucking running full speed, just screaming with a knife.
What else are you gonna do with a knife?
He's like, I need to kill someone. And then he does. He's like, all right, I'm out. Knife Man rocks. I hope he's a recurring character. Like every few episodes, he shows up sprinting, and some random character gets stabbed.
Well, and then he keeps dying, and we keep going into different worlds, and he's more and more devolved as we go on. So eventually, he's not a slime; he's like a puff of wind.
Yeah.
And then, he's learning the systems of being a puff of
more
wind.
Instrumentality.
It's basically Nobi Nobi Boy at a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Gets really long, and goes to Pluto. The Knife Man takes his toll. Also, you've missed the first scene was actually just a girl in World War II getting sucked up by a big flame tornado. I assume that's someone we'll...
Oh, that's right. I have that in my notes, but as condensing this, I lost that. So add another 5 seconds onto my total and we'd be there.
All right. No, you get penalized. It's 10 seconds.
It's like Forza style.
Yeah. It's okay. Like Forza. It's like actual racing.
Is that what happens in actual racing?
I assume they dock you more heavily than it would have taken you to do the thing right. So that's how it should work, in my opinion, in my non-racing.
Coming after me like when you don't even know.
I don't even know. Okay, that's that show.
All right.
The next show is called Kaze ga Tsuyoku Fuiteiru. The wind is... Run with the Wind. It's called, the English. 2002, a novel. A book...
what?
Being adapted.
Wiggity, what?
You have to stop. What is with the... You're trying to bring it back? You're trying to bring back wiggity what?
Zoinks!
Stop it. I'm telling you to stop it.
What?
If I have to stop saying racial slurs, you have to stop saying that. This is bullshit.
Okay. I'll concede that.
Production IG.
No pictures or nothing, huh?
What?
It's a book.
Oh,
a novel.
I don't know if there's not pictures. I didn't say that. I didn't say it was high literature. I don't know if there's pictures.
Look, sometimes I have trouble if there's not pictures.
But this... Well, you want to do this one? I don't care about this one. Or you?
This one's you.
Oh, great. Yeah, give me the gay one.
Haha. What? You're lucky.
This is a show about a sandwich thief. And what? That's not even a joke.
I know. It's
yeah, the first scene is he's running very fast because he stole a sandwich. And then a guy bikes next to him and says, "Hey, you like to run? I'm recruiting criminals for my dorm because that's a really smart thing to do." And then it cuts to the opening, and oh, gotta be careful here, but the lips on this Negro gentleman are they're sizable. They're really impressive.
I thought it was one of the more of the tastefully done black people in all of anime. What? That's
the 9-inch lips.
They got big lips. Like they're like I don't know what to say, man. Like, have you seen Jay-Z? Like that's what he looks like, dude. It's not quite. What the fuck is that song that he released? The Story of OJ. It's not like offensive fucking, 40s black animation.
Yeah, I guess. So, I was watching this show, and I was confused because I was like, why am I not getting into this? I seem to be not like enjoying this too much. And then I developed this theory. I suspect this show might be for homosexuals, and I'm not sure.
Now this is interesting because the entire time I was wondering, why am I so into this?
Oh,
why does this make more and more sense to me as I watch?
Weird. Yeah, I don't know why that is. We'll have to think about that one. That's interesting.
Okay, we'll unpack that as the episode continues.
So we meet all these guys in this dorm. They immediately walk in on black dude in the nude, I believe, or someone's nude. I forget.
Yes.
His name's Musa, and he's from not Zanzibar, but the one right next to the
Tanzania.
Tanzania, yes. You can learn more about Musa's homeland with this anime's companion documentary, Africa Audio. Very, very informative. But there's all these silly boys around.
They got characters.
And I don't know how old any of them are, because I don't know where they get money or anything.
They're as old as you want to be.
Oh, no.
You see...
I have to go. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just realized I have to which one of my keys?
Got to do my taxes.
My key is in this bowl somewhere. Can you find out? I forget which one. You told me to put it in here. I thought there'd be some way to get it out. I don't know which one.
Oh, no. The key's already out. No. Don't you see down the hall? Fred's waiting for you. You see Fred?
I don't think. No, that's not my. No, that's
Fred over there.
I have to get my daughter.
Hold on. Let me see what I've got. Let me take a look at my key. Do I have anything? Oh, well, would you look at that?
Can I have?
Would you look at that? That's your key.
Yeah, can I have the...
What? Hey, follow me to this room where Fred's at.
I'm sorry, I have to...
No, I'll give you the key. I just don't want you to check something out.
I have to please, my car is... I need the key.
Oh, would you look at that? Your car got towed.
Oh, Christ.
And we're also really deep in the middle of the woods.
I didn't notice that.
As you see that fire outside? They're stoking that fire. Huh.
It's getting...
Why don't you come to this room?
No.
I don't know where that bit went.
Yeah, there's really no way to end that one except with like a bunch of gay rape. So we didn't want to go there, so we just had to kind of end it.
Neither one of those things are things that, well, yeah. It's not rape.
I was definitely not into... I mean, I guess, if we had...
You think you're not into it?
Yeah, I guess maybe if we had kept going, maybe I could have been coaxed into it, but, the bit's over, so there's nothing we can do about it now.
We tried.
Yeah. But, so for their first running thing, they're going to Hakone. We almost went to Hakone. They got hot springs. You can see Mount Fuji from there. So then we get a flashback back to the first scene again that we really didn't need an elaboration on because...
Wow, wasn't that crazy?
You really could have figured out everything that happened between, hey, do you like to run, and him showing up at the dorm. We don't need an explanation like, hey, please come to my dorm.
That sure is a pace killer, isn't it?
I do not have anywhere to go. That's why I am stealing the sandwich. Oh, well, why don't you come to my dorm? Like, yeah, my brain somehow was able to connect those fucking dots. Television show.
Well, how about you could also, if you really wanted to reinforce the point, have it in a line. Just have it in a line at some point. Where it's like, hey, where'd you find this guy? And like you could just have it in a throwaway line. It doesn't necessarily need to be an entire other goddamn scene. What a mess. It's also like
at least 5
we
minutes.
also have to see the entire I thought it was like some weird like time skip thing at a certain point where I'm like because like the main character and the dude who finds them have very similar haircuts, and he's like leaving a bathhouse. I'm like, oh wait, have we skipped forward in time to a point where our main character has now like been here for 3 years? That's an odd choice. But then I realized
it's an even odder choice.
This is literally a flashback. We're just elaborating on something that everybody understood immediately right out the gate. Yeah. Very frustrating.
Very glowy.
And also because at that point I was kind of getting into it, like where I'm like, okay,
I was taking my pants off.
All these boys.
Like, yeah, I'm starting to stroke a little. Like, yeah.
Like, first off, I watch all anime with my pants off immediately. That's the first thing I do because you got to be comfortable.
You got to lower the inhibitions.
How are you supposed to watch anime if you're chafing?
I can't refute that.
Unless you're into that, which that's your game. But
the reason he lost all his money is he has a gambling problem. He lost it in mahjong.
I guess, but he's in college and he's underage.
How old? I mean, you only have to be 18 to gamble.
Yeah, he said he wasn't of age to drink.
Yeah, that's 20.
So I guess he would be 18. I thought. Oh yeah, it was 20. Yep. Huh.
I don't know, but gambling
I don't know
is
about
illegal
this, man.
in Japan. I don't know how he did.
Lost all his money. So he's hard. I guess the implication is that he's lived a little bit of a rougher life.
Yes.
Down on his luck, rough life.
And I guess everyone in the storm didn't know they were in a running club because then they're like, "What? We have to run?" I don't know if I'm not sure how that works, but then they were like, "Okay, time to go running in Hakone." I don't like this one very much. I don't like this show.
I liked the boys. My favorite boy is the guy who's nicknamed Nick because he has a horrible nicotine addiction, which is funny.
Okay, yeah.
And he like chiefs cigarettes so much that the entire room is filled with smoke.
It's hard to do that in Japan. We were in rooms where people were smoking and there was no haze. There was nothing. They got fans or something's in the air. I don't know.
So he's really going for it.
Blasting him.
I also appreciated Lawyer Boy, who was upset with Nick for smoking so much. He's got an undercut.
Right.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a great show, but I think it looks decent.
Does look okay.
And if you're looking for boys and potentially racing, do it.
This might be your only choice. Although we haven't watched all of them yet. So.
Holy fuck! I'm just looking at the summary. So the race that they're gonna do is 135 miles long.
I don't think they're doing all of that. That doesn't sound.
No, but they're doing segments, of course, where it's like one of the boys will take the baton or whatever, and then they will continue. The race.
Is it a relay?
Yeah, it is a relay race.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like like a marathon each. Probably.
Wow, that's pretty cool
for a first one. Boy. Eat a big spaghetti dinner. That's going to be rough.
Do you think you could do a half marathon right now? I think I could do a half marathon.
I bet I could. I might poop myself, but yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
But if my foot heals, I could do a half marathon easily. I should try to do a marathon. How bad could that be?
You should try to do half marathon. Yeah.
They gotta have those fuckers around my city.
Yeah. You got to do them on acid down there.
Oh yeah.
It's ordinance.
That's the rule.
Because everything's got to be wacky. We got to be wacky in my city.
You have to do it on acid, but you also have to bring your dog. And then if you stop to play with your dog at any point, you're disqualified.
That sounds pretty nice.
Nobody finishes.
Nobody has ever finished.
Nope.
Are we done with?
There are more dogs than children in my city. More dogs than children. And people bring their dogs into everywhere. Everywhere you go, you see dogs.
Stop.
They're very friendly dogs.
Well, I mean,
also there are not friendly dogs.
Oh no.
But mostly they're friendly dogs. Let's continue.
Okay, Caillou. Our next show is Sora to Umi no Aida.
Yes.
Or Between the Wind and the Sky, or the sea and the sky. Oh, this is oh boy. Okay. I just remember what this was. This is a media.
I had an existential crisis during this show. This is the one that broke me.
I wouldn't. I know. I'd be surprised if you didn't. This is a media franchise, meaning it's also a smartphone game, animated by TMS. There's no more fish on the planet.
What?
And just exposition here. Very quick. First off, no fish. Okay, fine, sure. That part I can handle. The rest of the exposition reads like a literal grade schooler's 15-minute free writing project. I don't even remember all of it because I just wrote what the fuck. They built gigantic spheres of water in space to put all the fish in.
But there are no more fish. Where did you get these fish? I thought there were no more fish.
No, well, it's like, you know how they have that bunker in Iceland with all the seeds? They probably had that, but with tons of fish.
Okay, they just had fish prepared in the instance of a fish-based emergency?
Yeah, well, I don't think it was an emergency. I think they slowly went away, but once there was no more fish, they were like, all right, we got to do something about this. But wait, you also don't understand why this happened? But we are able... we cannot scientifically comprehend why all the fish are gone, but we are scientifically capable of developing fish planets. What the fuck? What kind of backwards-ass world is this? If all the fish are gone, we have much bigger problems than the fact that we cannot eat fish. I can tell you that for a goddamn fact. They just left because, where they decided...
Also, this is Japan! Like, it's a single island.
We're not worthy.
One single island. Oh, God.
The fish abandoned us. So they built...
The year is 20XX and there are no more fish.
It's my favorite Mega Man game, 20XX. No more fish.
You gotta fight Fishman. Wait, no, that's the last one.
Fishman's disappeared. So yeah, big spheres of water in space. They stock them with fish, and teams of people fly up and drop out of spaceships in submarines to catch these giant mutant fish.
Look, I'm gonna come out and say it. It's not worth it.
And they're called
like
space
fish are good. Like, I totally understand if you enjoy eating fish. Is it worth developing fish planets for the sake of being able to eat fish again? I would posit no.
Maybe instead of dystopia, this is actually utopia, because if you have enough spare resources to build something
I would have to guess.
As frivolous as a fish world, maybe there's not that much actually bad going on Earth, except for the fact that there's no fish, which really isn't the end. Like, I don't know if there's if there's much on on in the terrestrial environment that depends on the existence of fish. So maybe it's fine. And, they're just kind of doing this for recreation. I would so fucking do this. You get to fight fish in a
they do fight the actual fish, though.
They fight the fish, like,
They just straight up fucking shoot those fuckers with electric lasers.
Yes.
They glack the fish.
For all of the absolute literal cocaine-induced insanity that this show is handing out, this is the premise. This is fucking awesome. This is so good. Being in the dark.
Imagine how big a tuna could get on another planet.
Imagine the size of it, and it's just one huge ocean that goes all the way down. There's no bottom, and just in the cold darkness of space, this huge ocean with fish that you can't even see them. They're all in there. It's fucking great.
You're right. That is a cool thing to discuss, but then when it's presented on screen, it's so stupid. It's just so fucking dumb. Like, there's no severity to this. There's no seriousness. It is all ganky space adventure, and it's the complete wrong tone. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
I couldn't fucking handle the direction is so awkward.
Oh,
it looks like
we're in space within fucking 10 minutes, and this girl's like, "Man, I'd love to go to space."
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it surprises her, but I don't know, like, every transition between shots has to be this cheesy logo zoom, like, like the Batman, it zooms in and out.
Sure.
And our girl is Genki Airhead, who's becoming a space fisherman, but she's arriving in this town, but she doesn't know where to go. She's touring around screaming at everything because she's so excited. And then she just starts taking pictures of cats. I don't know. And and she ends up at the wrong place where there's a battle of the sexes happening because the boys team doesn't think that girls can space fish. Oh my god, my favorite line easily of the season so far. One of the boys, I believe, asks her, "How do you like flying fish?" And her response, "It's cool how they're like birds."
That was one of the things I remembered from this episode.
That interaction
while I was experiencing a complete mental breakdown.
Oh my! I mean, I hope that's not just the subs. I hope that's what she said. It's cool how they're like birds. Fucking brilliant. What a world. So, but yeah, she goes. She gets in a rocket ship, goes space fishing, and it gets way weirder than we've even described. We haven't even gotten to the fucking weird parts because it's a game. So not only are they space fishing in like mech subs.
Oh right. Oh god, the deities.
They have guardian. Fuck. They have guardian deities.
Jesus.
They have gods helping them out that they choose from the God app.
Oh.
Who the fuck wrote this? This is like a parody of shows that just interpret the source game's material literally and just put all the game shit straight in with no massaging.
This is written by a computer. This is officially written by a computer. There's no way.
So yeah, they have
they're just incorporating random plot elements. Like it's like the boys don't want the girls to do it because they can't be fisher ladies. That's fine. But then the deities start getting woven into the picture here. I'm like, how the fuck did these things integrate together? And they don't.
They just keep adding stuff. So yeah, now we have all these mascot characters. And she chooses one that is a little furball. It's not very good, and it's telling her to do stuff.
It is cute though.
And they're just explaining all these things that have no purpose or reason behind them, like all these mechanics that again might be important in a video game and not in a television show. And like they're explaining why the ships glow underwater. I don't care about that. You're space fishing. Why don't you do some space fishing? So I assume they're just taking elements from the game.
I want Deadliest Catch Intergalactic Edition.
Exactly, yes.
I want every week, it's like, oh my god, we got this major haul, but then we lost Becky. Becky-san.
Yeah, fuck, Becky's gone. Episode 8, Becky's gone. Oh, spoilers. Fucking shit, these titles, man. They encounter a bunch of mean tuna, big mean tuna. And, and the subs just hold swords. They just have arms that hold swords that fight the tuna, and one has a grappling hook with an electric shock.
Okay, so now I'm a little bit less concerned by why I was losing my mind while watching.
It's absolutely fucking buck wild, dude.
Okay, thank you. God damn, I was like, am I having is this what it's like to be mentally insane? But no, this is actually, I feel like this isn't the first time this has happened to me while watching all these season preview episodes.
when guys with schizophrenia watch Breaking Bad, this is what they see.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
They fight all these fish. They fight a big crab at one point, and then they escape. They catch no fish, but she's had her inaugural space fishing adventure. Even though she wasn't supposed to, she gets chewed out because she wasn't supposed to go into space. She got kind of taken up there mistakenly. And I hope they kill a whale at some point. That's my only thought.
Oh no!
On this, because that
whales love. Do whales have love though?
Is that true? Can whales love?
Yeah. Whales definitely. That's my favorite of the Macross spinoffs. Is can whales love?
Space whales.
And yes, they can.
Yeah. This show is like a weird dream I would have when I'm like half asleep, like at my desk when I'm just falling asleep. Where it's like, oh, what if I just had a big ball of water and there's like fish in it? And then I go down, look at the fish, and then I wake up and have heart palpitations. Just like, whoa, what's going on?
It's like, I need another sip. And then you enjoy another delicious Monster Energy drink. And everything starts to make a lot of sense. Yo, I had have you had like Kickstart, Mountain Dew Kickstart?
I've had them before, yeah.
Okay, I would say for the most part, like black cherry, great success. Totally mild drink that has a decent level of caffeine in it.
Okay, I mean, it's not actually that much, is it?
It's like 90 milligrams in an entire can.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a lot. I had the Kickstart Ultra.
Kickstart Ultra?
Complete utter garbage. It's like it's because you know how the sips, they're calorie-free energy drinks,
right,
but they still taste decent.
Yeah.
Kickstart Ultra is utter shit. I don't know what the fuck they did wrong because it's Monster. Well, is Monster not a Mountain Dew spinoff? Or that was Amp. Amp was Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Monster, it's its own. Yeah, no, that's.
Well, don't drink one of those because that shit is so horrible. It's like the most artificially sweetened thing I've ever tasted in my life. Where it's like I feel like I'm drinking like a vat. Like I'm drinking out of a vat in a factory.
Oh yeah,
it's like
they're using sucralose, which I believe is Splenda.
If you fucking, it's like the shit that turned Joker into a white-faced monster. Like that's I feel like if I fell into a
father.
Basically, yes. I was damaged coming out on the other side.
You were twisted.
Yes, I was straight up twisted coming out of the other side of a Kickstart Ultra. Don't drink that.
Yeah, Monster is sweetened with erythritol. Mountain Dew Kickstart Ultra uses sucralose and I don't know what else.
No, thank you.
Interesting.
Are you ready to move on to the next show?
As am I, but boy, that one was a doozy.
Yikes.
Oh, and while we're talking about drinks we've had recently, I might as well get this out of the way. I was in the mood for, it's fall season. I was in the mood for a nice cider. Have a nice cider, mate.
Yeah.
Of
course.
And if you can get a hold of Samuel Smith's apple cider, imported, very expensive, but worth it. It's super good. I'm not a cider expert, but that was some good ass shit.
Currently looking it up right now.
Some genuine British cider.
My parents were recently overseas. They crossed the pond and went over to the jolly old country, and were very impressed with their cider output. So I might have to look into that. I have a very, very decent liquor store near me that also serves or provides, ciders and such. So I'll keep an eye out for Samuel Smith. The cider output down here is garbage.
Yeah, I that's why I was like, I haven't drank that much ciders, but I figure that most American ones would kind of just be like apple flavored Four Locos. I was looking for something maybe not too sweet and cloying, so I was looking online. Someone recommended Old Samuel Smith, and I have nothing to compare it to except like one sip of an Angry Orchard I had once years ago.
Angry Orchard is so shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was very good.
But all of the ciders that I had when I lived in the Midwest were good because they had nothing better to do than to brew alcohol.
It's everything. All of the, like the weed was crazy. The cider.
Well, then what are you gonna do? You're not gonna go experience culture. You live in the Midwest.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, look, if you have to drink alcohol or smoke weed, go to the Midwest to do it because they're the best at it. Like their IPAs are incredible. Their ciders are amazing. Every coastal location just doesn't know what it means to not have anything to do all the time. Anyways, let's continue to RErideD.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, yeah. This show has fucking Derrida in the title. Oh, I mean, what the fuck? This is in a.
Oh fuck me!
This is an original. This is what the original output is going to Japan. Great fucking job. An original show.
Air quote, motherfucker.
Technically, it's an ONA, I think, but I downloaded it anyways because it was mismarked on Anachart. Whatever. We're watching it. It's new. The studio is Geek Toys, which is new.
Yo. Geek Toys is my favorite smoke shop in Minnesota.
Right. Yep. Good. The director is the guy who directed Steins Gate and Ichigo Marshmallow, but also Girls Beyond the Wasteland. Mixed output. Oh, and the character designer, not that you would know, because the show looks like shit and totally wastes these character designs, I assume. But it's the Lane and Texnalize and
Yes.
Hibernate, Renmei.
Also,
All You Need Is Kill,
NHK.
Despera, that guy, that character designer. But it looks like ass right off the bat, so it doesn't matter. Did you want to do this one, or did I?
I'd love to.
Okay.
All right, man. This is going to be a very Kraken-influenced explanation of this show. Okay, so...
I remember Kraken.
Yeah, I recently bought a bottle because I was having nostalgia for Kraken. I don't think it's very good rum, but it is very high ABV rum.
That's why we would always buy it, yeah.
Because it's like the most alcoholic rum you
like
can get.
50%, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, first note is all caps bloom, because there is so much bloom in this. It's like half of the frame is always completely washed out, at least in the first sequence. So there's like a crazy future city in our protagonist.
Very generic future.
Yes. Very sterile. So Science Man talks to Business Dude, and Science Man being our protagonist. And apparently robots have been integrated into society. You know, they've picked up all the menial roles or whatever.
Of course.
And our protagonist is upset because there's going to be another wave of robots released, but there's some sort of issue or bug with them that they could have the possibility to go rogue or whatever. And the release is tomorrow, but he figured it was a higher priority to go to this little girl's birthday party instead. So goes to a birthday party, talks with his friend, and he gives her some flowers as a gift or whatever. Let's see.
Sorry, but I have a note here that says, "Am I drunk, or is this dialogue extremely nonsensical?" And I was wondering if you could weigh in on that, because I don't really remember.
It's kind of like reading a translated version of a novel, where you'll read a paragraph several times and be like, I'm not sure if I really understand what's going on here, but I get the gist of things. Mm-hmm. Where you just kind of have to move on and not so much worry about the finer details. I'm currently reading this version of The Castle by Franz Kafka, and that's borderline unintelligible at times, because that bitch will just run on. Like, there are run-on sentences that go for an entire paragraph, like 3/4 of a page. So, if you glean anything from that, good on you. So whatever. It goes to a birthday party for this little girl, and then one of her friends shows up to the party, and the little girl's friend sings a song or some shit. They see a war on television, but they turn it off because we can put that aside for now, because we're enjoying the festivities of this little girl's birthday party. We're not going to worry.
It's about family.
We're not worried. Yes, this is the Fast and the Furious franchise of anime. We're not worried about the potential war that's going on. We're worried about family. So tomorrow's the big day. The adults. So the little girls leave. Like the main little girl, Mage or Mage, walks her friend home, and the adults have this heated discussion about the ethics of releasing these robots upon the world. Because, like, hey, there's potential for these robots to just kind of go rogue and destroy everything. And one of them is like, no, we can't. I am completely against this, but I have no power to stop it.
Aren't they arguing about time travel or something?
Yeah, time travel comes up at one point. They argue about time travel as well, because one of them was very heavily involved in the research of time travel and gave up.
It was at this point that I actually fell asleep in the episode, and I had to restart it the next day because when I woke up, I didn't realize that I had not finished the episode. And then I went back to it. It was like, wait a second, I've not seen this.
I was stone cold sober and awake while watching this, and it's pretty dry. I don't necessarily dislike it at this point. So they're saying some ominous stuff about time travel. So the next day happens, and the protagonist meets with his dad, who is a businessman or a scientist, and he's like, hey, these robots could totally destroy the world if you release them. And his dad's like, you just don't understand how this business works. So the protagonist accuses him of being in bed with big business, because obviously he is, because if you're a scientist of that caliber, you kind of have to be, right? Anyways,
but then he runs away from his dad, and he runs away. The way he runs away is extremely funny. Like, imagine, like, you're kind of hunched over, and you're running really fast, and both your arms are unmoving at your side, slightly bent. It's very funny.
That's how I run all the time, so I don't have to imagine it. So Mage, or Mage, goes into a coma because she had tried to do some time travel, which had previously hurt our protagonist. He tried to do it.
What do you do today, Mage?
And anyways, so protagonist's dad gets killed. This is a science man. He's dead. And then they look at the news, and apparently the robots that they were like, hey, they shouldn't release those because they got bugs, which will, they're going to go rogue, are already in combat, and they're already rogue. And then protagonist goes over to his friend's place. The friend is the father of Mage. And
oh my God, hurry up.
They get picked up, and then they get into an accident, and then an evil dude shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm going to cover up your deaths and make it look like you started all this nonsense. I don't know what this show is, so I have a really hard time summarizing it because I don't know what the important information is. The important thing is that our protagonist gets put into cryosleep, and he wakes up in a horrible post-apocalyptic nightmare world where the robots have taken over the world just like he thought they would.
And also right before his friend gets shot, a time-traveling mage appears just in time to save him.
Wow.
And then, not only does he... Okay, saying he gets put into cryostasis is one thing. He falls into a ventilation shaft in the woods.
Yes. Where did that fucking bitch come from?
Into an abandoned... abandoned room, metal room, underground... And then he accidentally steps into and then activates a cryostasis.
A series of ridiculous accidental scenarios occur in which he ends up being in cryostasis.
Place is just abandoned. There's too much going on here. The time travel, the cryostasis, the Skynet, corporate espionage, family drama. Pick two of those things, man. This is ridiculous.
Look, there is a point in which this show worked for me. There was a solid 2 minutes where I'm like, I think this might work, which is where they're looking at television, and there's a war happening elsewhere in the world, and they're discussing the implications of releasing these robots that are, have a bug in them. And I'm like, okay, we might be on the brink of some sort of all-out, robot outbreak. And that seemed cool. But then when we start getting a time travel plot here, I'm gone. I'm out. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. I'm done. And the show just keeps going, and it just keeps adding more and more shit.
Not good shit.
What a mess that one is. It's almost as big of a mess as the title is, which I don't know if we described how this title is actually written, but it is capital R-E, lowercase R-I-D-E, capital D. RErideD.
I can't believe they fucking named him Derrida.
What does Derrida mean?
Oh, God.
What does Derrida mean?
What's, you don't know?
Help me.
You're not familiar with Jacques Derrida?
Help me.
It's a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I could think about is if this guy doesn't fuck this little girl, he's not a worthy heir to the name Derrida. God. So, yeah, this stinks.
Yeah, I
Oh, and there's a concept called the time ride, which is,
a lesser Disney World attraction, the time ride. You go back through the 70s and the the roaring 20s.
Takes you in a minute into the future in 60 seconds. It's just a very long ride for that one joke.
Rough, huh?
Yeah.
They reach for too much. How about you introduce these concepts over multiple episodes? I don't know.
I don't know
if
there's any save in this one. Yeah. Oh, this one. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Our last show this episode.
The season is saved.
Seishun, Buta, Yarou. It's the bunny girl one.
Yeah.
The English translation is Rascal does not dream of bunny girl senpai. I don't know why they had to translate Buta Yarou as Rascal.
Nobody said Rascal since 1986.
Yeah, like Rascal is for irony or like old women. You can call him a pig. That's not a swear word. You can say that. You can pig head. That's a term.
Look. I recently watched a brief bit of an interview of an American rapper on Japanese television. They're totally cool with just airing uncensored rap songs on television there.
Oh, of course.
With everything. All of the words that I would not say in public. And they're saying them on Japanese television, uncensored. They can say whatever they want. Why Rascal?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. No, I don't know. This is a light novel adaptation. It's the guy who wrote Sakura So no Pet Nakanojo. People like that one. And it's animated by Cloverworks, which is a rebrand of an A1 studio. They've done... they're the ones who did second half of Darling in the Franxx and Persona 5 and Ace Attorney 2. New studio. Who's up? Who's up to bat?
It's you all day.
Okay.
Lucky you.
My first note is I heard she's only in the bunny suit for one episode. Not off to a great start. I've heard about
it's in the
some
title,
of your
though.
shit. Exactly. You think, right? But yeah, it's this dude. He's having dreams. You think I think they're trying to trick you. You're supposed to think he's in a dream or something. But he's in the library, and there's a girl walking around in a bunny suit. And I gotta say, like, this. It's got bunny girl in the title. She starts off immediately in the bunny suit. It's obviously pandering to this very overdone, like, it's hardly even a fetish. I don't know what to call it. It's just like is it an outfit?
It's like if you watched porn nowadays and you're like stepsister or stepdaughter. That's not a fetish anymore. That's just modern day. It's mainstream.
Yeah,
the bunny girl
now.
hasn't been a fetish since fucking like 1986.
I mean, yeah, Haruhi did this 12 years ago. That was the bunny. But despite all that, I gotta say, bunny girl's drawn pretty darn good.
She got big hangers, and I like that.
Yes,
I'm about that.
So yeah, he talks to her briefly in the library, and she leaves. Then he wakes up probably, I guess, the next morning, and we get introduced to his very cuddly Emoto. And he heads to school. We meet his friend, who is also like his. I don't know why his friend is his twin. I was like confused at first. I was like, wait, are these two different dudes? They look exactly the same. I don't know.
I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his friend is like socially competent and like is part of the social society of the school, and he's an outcast, and there's very little different between them, but the difference is like a level of morality, because his friend is able to play into it, but he just kind of is capable of being the outcast.
Whoa,
crazy, right?
So yes, the bunny girl, she's a student, and they keep referring to her as a celebrity, but they don't really say what for yet. And this is where I really started. I really like this guy is much better than all I guess every other LN protagonist ever, just from his ability to not take shit even for a second, just standing up for himself even for just a fraction of a second.
This is the thing that makes the show appealing, I think.
He takes no shit from his friend's bitchy girlfriend, and he basically just tells her to fuck off.
Well, I would say that like every the main characters are cool. Like, yeah, I think that the protagonist, his best friend, and the bunny girl are all cool people.
They're just downstated. They're just subtle. They're normal.
They're soft spoken. Nobody's crazy. Like, yeah. Which I'm cool with the tone of this show.
Yeah, it's a little snarky. Like they're a little just like sarcastic all the time, but it's way better than just like he's not constantly stuttering over himself and falling, or refusing to throw anything back. He's just He's just a guy. At least for a second. In the next scene, he does White Knight a little, which took him down a couple notches for me. He was so cool just a second ago, and then he starts White Knighting this girl just because someone's taking a picture of her. Come on, man.
But it's not like the most extreme night. He's not making a scene. He's just specifically calling him out.
I mean, yeah. So then they're talking on this train, and it's revealed that he at least has a reputation for having gotten into a fight, even though it appears to have not actually happened, maybe. But the rumor is that he sent 3 people into the hospital, which really highlights difference between Japan and America. In America, you send 3 dudes to the hospital, you get pussy for life. That's a free pussy for life card.
Can't confirm.
Comes in the mail.
I gave 3 people malaria.
Oh,
and
that's
as
cool.
It stands, things have worked out for me.
Awesome. So, and then her deal is this. This is another thing I don't really like, is I'm supposed to believe this chick is extremely famous child star idol girl, but no friends whatsoever. Just because everyone's too afraid to approach her or whatever.
It is a bit of a stretch.
Like that's how girls work. Like fucking come on.
That's as if that's how anybody works. Like that,
it's just weird.
Like imagine if you went to school with like a literal baseball player. You know what I mean? Like you're everybody's gonna try to get to know that motherfucker. They're gonna clout chase as much as they possibly can.
That guy's top dick of the baseball clique. They won. So she's started to notice that no one can see her sometimes for some reason, which I thought was supposed to be not supernatural at first.
You think it was not a literal thing? It was more of a metaphorical.
Yeah, I thought it was more just sort of like, oh, she has less presence because for some reason
people are like numb to her persona, like they've consumed
it's like
so much
they've gotten so used to her and something. So
now let me tell you about interacting with celebrities.
Yes.
Having lived in a city where I have seen celebrities multiple times,
having sucked Taylor Kitsch's big hog.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any more normal. It is always fucking weird. So the idea that people would be like, yeah, I go to school with fucking Saoirse Ronan. Nobody would be cool. Nobody would be like normal about that. She is literally transcendent.
I don't know who that is.
Saoirse Ronan. She's an actress. You look it up. You'll recognize her.
Sarah Sharon.
Saoirse Ronan. It's SAO. Hold on. Let me figure out how to spell Saoirse.
Google will figure it out for me. Oh wait, no, it won't. Sarah Sheridan? Sarah Sherman? Sarah Sherwood?
How about SAOIRSE Ronan? RONAN.
Sorry, serotonin. Yep, that's it, Google. Thank you. Wait, spell it again.
SAO, Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
IR, infrared.
Yeah.
SE, space, RONAN.
Oh, it's 2 words. That's one. Okay. I thought you were saying Sarah Saron, but it's her name is
Saoirse.
Saoirse. Okay. I get it now. Oh,
I guess it's Saoirse, isn't it? Good luck pronouncing that name, motherfucker.
Oh, it's okay. You pronounced it wrong. It's pronounced Dakota Fanning. That's the.
Fuck. She's a very distinct actress, and I'm not gonna fucking let you talk about her that way. Talking about the winner of multiple British Academy Film Awards.
She looks like every actress. I can't even think of who she looks like because there's so many.
She was young enough to where I'd be able to reference her.
Oh yeah, no, she just looks exactly like Dakota Fanning.
Well, she's in a Greta Gerwig movie.
A what?
I hate Greta Gerwig.
I don't like her anymore.
That's
Okay.
not entirely true. But
Back to show. No one can see homegirl. And our guy, so smooth, takes her back to his place and shows her the huge bear claw scar he has on his chest, which is fucking just the biggest power move. Also reveals that his Emoto got cyberbullied. And that's when you realize it's just straight up supernatural, because we get a flashback of his sister coming to him distressed because of the cyberbullying, and her skin starts splitting open. So it's like, okay, it's
like poltergeist shit.
It's like I believe a real Japanese sort of not really urban legend, but just like a cultural thing that's not real that people talk about, called adolescent syndrome.
It's like the equivalent of poltergeist, where it's like, people are of the age of puberty, they're in high school,
and that's when they're most powerful, and they draw in forces from the spirit realm.
Duh.
I remember when I was 13, I would draw in forces from the spirit realm all over my sheets almost every night. Terrible time.
Declan, you be drawing forces from the spirit realm again? You don't make me clean up after you. I know what you've been up to. I see the Google search history. You know I checked the internet browsing history of everybody in this house. You've been going through those VPNs again, haven't you?
You see, you're not going to use racial slurs, but you think it's okay to just do accents like that,
Look, she's from the Bronx. What am I going to do?
That's true. I know. With a name like Goldstein, I don't know what I expected. I thought I could live in this country, without fear of having to hear these hateful voices that you do, but,
My wife's in the next room, and she's of Jewish descent, so she's totally fine with me doing these voices. They sound exactly like her cousins and also aunts.
All right. Well, I guess that's fair. If it's from another member of the chosen people, I'm willing to take her word for it.
Shabbat shalom, motherfucker.
What else is going on in this show? So yes, Bunny Girl gets upset by something they said, and she drops out of school and disappears. And he works at a restaurant. He talks to this reporter lady who seems to flirt with him. They call her an announcer in the subs. I don't know if that's supposed to mean reporter. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what the fuck that translation's supposed to mean.
So then he also meets another girl, Science Girl. A lot of girls. First episode here. Talks to her for a bit and asks her about these unexplained phenomena. And that's kind of it. The show's kind of okay. It's neat.
I thought it was probably the best thing we watched so far.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm a little bit burpy.
Yeah?
Don't, guys, little boys and girls, don't drink rum. Just don't do it.
I've not done that in a while. Yeah, no,
rum is just sugar. It's just sugar cane that's been distilled.
It's the alcoholics got to figure it out, man. It's straight vodka. It's just, you know what? I don't even care anymore.
Come on.
What?
You got to be drinking rum, and by rum I mean fuck. Shit.
I want every one of our episodes to end with you doing that.
You got to be drinking straight bourbon whiskey all day. Bourbon, scotch.
I don't know.
Malt. Distilled 1 year. Come on.
All at once.
This is probably my favorite thing I watched, because I really liked the tone, and I liked that the characters weren't all over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it was kind of depressive in a way. She's trying to figure out what exactly her life is now, because she no longer is able to interact with people. And our main character is not immediately throwing himself into her plight. He's not taking her problems onto himself, It's kind of, but now by the end of the episode, he's kind of like, well, I'm interested in what's going on in her life, because this is the most interesting thing that's happening in my high school experience, he's not obsessed with her right off the bat, and I like that. I also like the poltergeist elements. That's all. That's
very cool. Okay.
Very cool.
Part 1 is over.
Part 1 of 2 is over.
Wait. What?
I can't wait to watch a couple episodes of anime from this season.
Wait, you can't. We can only do 6 more.
You get 10 more.
Let's do 3 parts. Let's do 12 more.
I can live with 12 more.
Okay. We got, there's no time limit.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do have to eventually get to the real dinner, because this has all been an appetizer dinner, which would be Index.
Okay, sure. Covering 8-year-old shows.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hot takes on Index, which is a show that in the past we've stated is pretty good. And man, I like that.
And we'll continue to do so at a later date.
Boy, holy, how the fuck did this bitch end up being an hour and a half long?
Well, we had a really big chunk at the beginning because I thought we were only doing like 4 shows, so we kind of padded that out a little bit. And then we talked about 6 things, which does take a while. And then you do 10 minutes thing. That's an hour.
All right, quick rundown. You can get away with probably just watching the bunny show, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch the 2nd episode of the Slime Show, at least.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Slime Show, a lesser Young Thug.
And, if I come across a huge patch of psilocybin mushrooms, I'm gonna watch the entirety of the Fish Show.
Usually when I come across a huge patch of psilocybin mushrooms, I'm like, I'm gonna do thing, and then I end up just listening to my favorite albums the entire time. And also embracing the dirt beneath my feet.
That's fucking fascinating.